What's he say? You claim... Oh, did he choose to go after me? Will Legal Eagle cover FREESTYLE versus FIDE? They definitely won't. But yeah, actually, where was I going with that? I was going to talk about FREESTYLE very quickly because I did see, someone told me earlier to look at this tweet. I'm just going to pop it up. I did see there was a tweet, and since we're 15 minutes out from the arena, I'll just talk about it very briefly, which was there was this guy George Mastrakakis who was part of FIDE. I don't think he's still a part of FIDE, but he was a part of FIDE, and he tweeted this. This guy basically is the guy who made the regulations. He said, from where to start, really. He says, first of all, this is the first point, which is A, since I am the only one who actually drafted the relevant part of player contracts, these contracts clearly refer to hashtag chess, or in quotations chess, everywhere, not Fisher Random, not Bughouse, not Backgammon. So it's the first thing, which is contradicting what Satovsky said. B is completely irrelevant. FIDE can even add basketball, or I don't know what B is. Actually, I should probably look at this tweet because he's gonna say something. Chess, what's he say? You claim... Oh, did he choose to go after me? You can always claim that you're a first form as a streamer, but that does not mean you don't have contractual obligations. It's about chess. Okay, good job. Actually, I should probably pull up the previous one then separately. Let me pull this up. Yeah, I was not expecting to see something. As you see, I don't actually pay attention to Twitter that much. So well, let me try to understand. Wait, so let me click on this one here and read this first. Yeah, let me read this first. Okay. He's saying, okay, so because the 4 points get talked about, they get replied to by the guy then, and it says all players, including Magnus and Hikaru, actually signed a binding obligation not participate in any world championship not approved by FIDE for the period of 4 years. Magnus signed it in 2023, other top players in 2024. Yeah, you can always claim that you're first form as a streamer, but that does not mean you don't have contractual obligations. The point is not about contractual obligations, it's that you simply don't have you don't have the rights, that you're trying to claim that you have the rights over a trademark of something that you don't have. But I don't know why he needs to make some personal insult here. I mean, I could make plenty of personal insults about things he's done, but I choose not to. So I don't really know why he has to try and attack me for this, because also the other thing that I've said a couple of times is that I'm not spearheading this. This is being spearheaded by Magnus and Jan-Henrik Buettner. I have no equity in FREESTYLE chess. I don't have any contract with them that like I'm going to play every turn or anything along those lines. So it's kind of weird to try and make this in some way about me, because I'm simply reporting on what's going on. I don't have a stake in it. I just simply think that FREESTYLE chess is something that is good. I'm in favor of things that do raise the profile of chess overall. But let's keep going with the points. B. Chess 960 Fisher Random are listed in FIDE handbook for more than 15 years now, and obligations obviously include this variant. Okay, so he's claiming that in the FIDE handbook he's basically claiming that they have rights over the variant. C, bringing in Dvorkovich interviews Hikaru admitted the most important part, where Dvorkovich clearly says the conflict was not about money but about the recognition of FIDE rights. The conflict was not about money but about the recognition of FIDE rights. I mean, this also is kind of funny because this is simply not true. And the D is the best one. FIDE does provide a lot of income for top players. This is complete horseshit. Sorry, pardon my French. This is complete horseshit. Pardon me. All the favors are public. Hikaru may not have won any amount significant enough for a top streamer, but here are the prize funds: World Championship match, 2.5 World Cup Rapid and Blitz Grand Swiss. Yeah, so here's the problem. It's nice to say the total prize fund, but the fact of the matter is, let's break it down. The players are not making $2.5 million. They are not. And most of the money, why are all the points addressed at you? Because Emil clearly is wasting his time on the internet trying to fight against me instead of worrying about the actual people who are sort of spearheading this, which is Magnus and Jan-Henrik Buettner. So it's kind of funny that I'm apparently the bad guy in all of this. Emil should maybe like focus on the people who are actually putting together this tour, the organizers of this event. But the point about D is that players aren't, you say 2.5 million, you're like, wow, it's amazing. World Championship. Two players who get really lucky are making, let's say, 1.25 million. The World Cup says 2 million. The first prize in the World Cup is 128,000. Maybe it's more now. Maybe it's like 150. But the point is that's divvied up among 64 plus players. Rapid and Blitz is also divvied up amongst a huge amount of players. So while you try to make it look like it's really impressive and you're bringing these $1 million prize funds, the fact is all this money gets watered down and the players are not making that much money. And as I said before, the top players make the majority of their money from events like the Vadim Rosenstein events, the Grand Chess Tour, Norway Chess. There's so many events that are not FIDE affiliated, which is where most players make their money, German Bundesliga and all the leagues as well, that it's just complete nonsense. So this is just simply misleading. It's just misleading trying to say, oh, we do this great job, when in fact the money is divvied up and players don't make that much money. That's just the reality. But here are the 4 points. So now let's get back to the response from this guy, George Mastro Kukas, which is from where to start, really. He says, on the first point, since I am the one who actually drafted the relevant part of the player contracts, these contracts clearly refer to chess, not the World Championship, everywhere, not Fisher Random, not Bughouse, not Backhand. So he's basically saying that Emil is simply wrong, and this is the guy who wrote the regulations. I don't know if he's a lawyer or not, but this is the guy who wrote the regulations. So this is the guy who wrote the regulations, not Emil Satovsky, and he's basically saying that Satovsky is wrong. On point B, he says, completely irrelevant. Point B, let me see. Oh, Chess 960 are in the handbook. He says, completely irrelevant. FIDE can even add basketball or table tennis in their handbook. It grants them no authority to grab intellectual property that doesn't belong to them, i.e. they don't have the IP over Fisher Random or Freestyle, whatever you want to call it. Point C, even for $1, blackmailing for rights that you do not own is unacceptable. Hikaru is correct. Is 100% correct. Yeah, the conflict is not about money. It's about the recognition. That's not what it's about. If Freestyle was willing to give them a certain amount of money, they would have been fine with the whole thing. But they wanted money. And then when Freestyle was unwilling to give them the money they wanted, that's when we reached the situation. And then point D. None of this income is provided by FIDE. It is provided by sponsors, and FIDE just takes its cut. Healthy sponsorship is attracted to top players and top talent with or without FIDE. This is also a good point as well, which is that this money is not from FIDE. This is not from income that FIDE generates. This is from wealthy individuals or companies, very prominent companies like the Freedom Finance Holding Group, Isai Scheinberg, and say some of the sponsors in like Uzbekistan. So this is a very good point. He's like, oh yeah, we do all this stuff, but it's based on sponsors, and the sponsors only show up because the top players are playing. And as soon as the top players realize that they have this power, that's when FIDE is in trouble, because as soon as the players realize this, then they understand these sponsors are not going to show up if the top players aren't competing. That's when things are going to start to change. And so I think FIDE actually has made a huge mistake here with what they've done, because they've actually put the players in a situation where the players have to basically sign away their rights completely, and I don't think most players want to do that. And so it's all going to come to a head very, very soon. But then, you know, aside from this, I find it funny that Emil is going after me when I'm not the one creating this. Like, the people who created this are Magus and Jan-Henrik Buettner, and somehow, like, he feels like it's great to go after me and attack me, which is just bizarre, honestly. I find it really, really bizarre that I'm the person he chooses to attack. So, yeah, it's what it is, but that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Yeah, just how it goes. Just how it goes. Like, I mean, the whole streamer first bit, like this too, like is this is like kind of a bit of a personal insult, and I don't really probably wants to stick to the topic, but making personal insults, like, I mean, is a bit much. It's a bit much to see. It's a bit much. It's a bit much because all his points are targeted at me. It's targeted at me. At this point, he talks about me for no reason. He's like, you can claim you're foremost a streamer. Like that's like, I mean, that's literally a personal insult. So whatever.